Alright, peace fam. Oh, it's time for a folk test for grown folks. We kicking it tonight. Alright, the lines are open. Matter of fact, I'm about to open them right now for anybody that want to call in. Woo, I'm sweating. I just got home early. I was almost done with the project. So we got a few more things to do. I need to take me a bath.
Take you a bath.
Oh, Sasha, please. Shouts out to Miss CeeLo. Welcome to the show. Lines are open. Shouts out to Miss Sasha. Yeah, Sasha, you was on here messing with stuff.
No.
Yes, you was. Oh my God. Now my daughter is now she's. All right, we got 3 people in the house. I don't know who it is, but I want to welcome each and every last one of y'all. Excuse the sweat. Like I said, I had to take off the time. I'm kind of tired. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna kick it. Let me post up this number so we can do it. But while we wait, while y'all waiting for me, let me play a track from an old album called The Afrocentric Warriors. Right? So let's start off with track 1. This is an album that I was on. We're going to play a few of the songs from this. You know what I'm saying? Because Elder Tony West hooked the brother up. And I'm like, oh man. So here we go. Here's the starting track.
Minute by minute, hour by hour, you lose your history, you lose your power, minute by minute, hour by hour, you lose your faith, you lose your power, If it is to be, it's up to me, I feel good about myself, I feel good about the people around me, I feel good it's all around me. And it will follow me for the rest of my life. Cause I walk with good. And I talk with good. And I am good. And that feels real good. Good, better, best. Never let it rest. Until your good is your better. And your better is your best. Black people, you were once great. You shall be great again. Lose not faith. Lose not courage. Go forward. Uplift the race. Harambe.
Track 1, but family, here we go. Regular start. Let's finish posting up. Peace, this is Brother Hakim, and you have joined us on Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Be sure to check out our site and subscribe at tribe.gyenamejourney.com. Ashe. What's up, Miss Deandra? Shouts out to CeeLo. We're about to get it popping off.
God standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth amongst the gods. How long will you judge unjustly?
Better yet, let's do this.
I say, defend the poor and the fatherless, do justice to the afflicted and the needy.
Let's do another track from the album.
They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness.
Harambe. This is from The Afrocentric Warriors. I think the brother's name that did this track right here, his name is Spade. And we'll go right into the show. Y'all can still hear the buzzing in the background. That's how old is it?
Spirituality supports reality. Spirituality supports reality. Spirituality supports reality. Spirituality supports reality. Spirituality supports reality.
This is an African set, more respect. I saw the light, now I got to reflect straight back. Here's a little message while you live, and what I got to give is somewhat positive. Spade, the brother's gonna serve rhythmatically. Pass up on to you what was taught to me. That was Afrocentricity about being spiritual. So here we go to proceed quite lyrical. Praise the one for which our pledge must stand. Peace to the creator, word to the motherland. I got to give it up, cause I'm down with cancer. Jumped in the circle, I was told we have to stand together as one in unity, amongst ourselves, amongst our community, strong, repelling the interference of genocide. Luther King died to keep the dream alive. Mandela, the fellow served 25, still revived, speaking, teaching others to survive. And look towards the Nubian place. Your mind is a waste if you don't know your race or heritage. History of the Afro-American, who's truly African, there's no comparison.
Uh-oh, Lady J on the line.
The skin, whether dark or light, you might be my kids who are related.
Can you hear me?
Brothers in my sister's seat. To the east, to the east, to the east of me.
Hold on.
Over here by slave ships. I dropped a bomb on the Uncle Tom who ain't hip.
Check 1, 2, okay, go.
Of the Asiatic nation. I stop them in the face with righteous information stating this, educating only facts and reality. That's well supplemented by spirituality.
Supports reality. Spirituality 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 supports reality.
It's quite obvious.
Brother Shaka on the line. It's about to go down tonight, family.
Of anger between me and the past. I'm looking forward to what I learned in school, but that's trash. The white man's words. So that's his story.
Oh man, play the old album. Play the old album.
It's another phase.
We're about to start in a second. This is my start music right now.
Things that were missing. Cast out your mind and start fishing. Listen for wisdom, seek words and knowledge. Peace is invited to the United Negro College. There's nothing to do with being black or white, but it's the state of common sense and knowing what's right, what's wrong, what's up and what's down. Put your eyes to the sky and 2 feet on the ground. Now how that sound? For one who don't know much, but I know enough to fluff. Speak my peace to teach my right, my freedom.
It's almost over, family. Bear with me. I'm going down memory lane.
The voice of the unheard, of the quiet, although the chains of bond have been broken, the shackles of the mind is still holding on the same.
Hey, ladies, I need y'all back.
A war back in a constant flame. The 3 Ks say we're inferior, no, so let's show that we're proud and spiritual.
Spirituality supports reality. 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 Spirituality supports reality.
Feel like I've been in a fight. Family, and it's about to go down on Gye-Nyame Journey. First off, I want to let you know that you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Media. This is now folk tales for grown folks, so put the kids to bed because it's going to be some harsh language, possibly, but it's going to be some lessons taught. And this is a Hard December production. We strive to blow up those old paradigms. Alright, the lines are open and we have been joined by Lady J and Brother Shaka. Lady J, good evening to you. You got some words for the people before we jump into the folktale?
Yeah, I think I do. It's just great to be joining you guys tonight, so I just want to start by saying that. I look forward to the wisdom mining that takes place on this show. I never want to just make a comment. It's kind of like beating a dead horse, though. I don't know if that would be humane at all, so I don't know if anyone would do that. But this whole idea, I seen something the other day that, like, just really hurt my heart. And it bothered me because it was being shared. And what it was a
Miss Tiara's on the line.
video.
Go ahead.
Huh?
No, I was just shouting out Miss Tiandra. She just joined us on the line. But go ahead, Lady J.
Yeah, it was just a video that was like really saying, where this guy is like really saying hurtful things about African American women. I mean, he's very nasty with the things that he said. But what was really perplexing to me was that people were sharing it and they were like, "Oh, this dude is crazy. Oh, he hates black women." But they were sharing the post, so it was promoting
what he was doing. Was it Tommy?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, so you know,
Was it Tommy? Was it Tommy
I'm
Sotomayor?
sorry.
Was it Tommy Sotomayor?
Well, there was a voice. There was a voice behind it. I don't know who this gentleman's voice was, but there was like a commentator. So he never showed his face, but he was showing various images that promoted or supported his argument. Very derogatory pictures. I don't know if I should, basically, of black women. Just very, one of them wasn't even a woman, it was a man, so I was confused by that. Oh, no, I wasn't, because he was blaming us for messing up the boys, So, you know, just keeping in mind that what propaganda is, and that it is a tool that is used in war. And at this point, we are using our enemy's tool, weapon in war. We are promoting their images, their messages, the negative portrayals of us. We are promoting those things. If we don't agree with them, we should not like them. We should not comment. We should not share at all, period.
I agree. So we have, what you're saying is, as people that use the internet, we have a responsibility because he probably got some thousands of shares, and we have positive conversations all the time, and we can get what 3, 4, 5 shares. You know what I'm saying? I feel you.
Exactly. So what I did,
but I'm grateful for the 5 shares.
This is working. I am trying to get a group of people who will contact people through their messenger, send out a post and say, "Hey, if you see this, don't share, don't comment it, don't like. This is negative propaganda. This is propaganda that is not helpful for us. So we need to become familiar and well versed in propaganda that will promote our image."
Now, the challenge for us is that we do have to start, in a sense, having some type of discussion, some type of class on how to properly use this tool, because it is a tool, and like all tools, is double-edged. You can use it to build, or you can use it to destroy. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if you don't know, it's like a child with a hammer. Child is gonna go bang on stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be responsible and start educating people. Like, some people don't even know how to share. You know what I'm saying? Until it's really something they want to share. Or they don't even understand the importance of sharing, because they think sharing is about, it's just about me having fun, when in fact, you know what I'm saying, what you may view as fun.
Even if you don't want to share it, if you like it, it promotes it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It promotes it. So even if you don't want to share it on your page, if you don't want that on your timeline or on your storyline, that's fine too. But just liking it will promote it. Commenting on it, saying I say or I agree, anything like that will promote it. So even if you don't want to share it, promote it, like it, comment.
All right, Brother Shaka, it's on you. So what you gonna do?
Well, I think that I'm gonna keep it central to that. You can go inside, brother. Yeah. So as media makers, like Tim and I, especially, have a responsibility in contextualizing the information. So I get it, Lady J, what you mean. But the one piece that we have to be strong about across the board, regardless of the information, is teaching our young people to use critical thinking skills. And with those critical thinking skills, they are able to watch things that are put out of context and be able to regard it based on their own personal value system. And with that in mind, when it comes to those types of things, if you didn't like it, I most likely wouldn't like it either. However, if I were to take that and use it as an example of, because everybody's a teacher. Everybody's a teacher. People teach you one of two things: what to do and what not to do. And
correct.
So, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Shaka, but if we are there's two things. If we are going to say what not to do, we should be. I don't think that we promote it when we send it as an inbox. You see what I'm saying? So if I want to tell you,
I disagree.
Yeah, and then the second thing is. I think that one thing that happens with the constant in negative images is that our young people, maybe when they get to their young adult age, it's okay, but we have lots of young people who are very impressionable, and the images that they see begin to influence how they see themselves, so they are constantly bombarded with these negative images. And so I think that it's counterproductive I think it would be most productive if we focus on promoting positive images, positive stories versus the negative. Yes, because we're bombarded. They're bombarded with negative all day.
All right, hold on. Let them finish, and then because Miss Tiandra need to go, then we could jump and start having a conversation. Go and finish what you were saying, Shaka.
Okay, because this goes right back to 2 nights ago when I was doing a movie review on Spike Lee's School Days, right? And Joe from Brooklyn called my line, and boy, did we have a conversation. Hatim has heard the conversation, C-Lo's heard it. I'm not sure who else heard it yet, but this brother was Archie Bunker to the max. The first thing that he said when he came on the line, he said, we're talking about Spike Lee's School Days. You care to join us in the conversation? He's like, oh, yeah. He was like, I think that Spike Lee is an arrogant nigger, and he just, from there, it just went on. But the piece is that I was patient with the brother. I was patient with him the entire time, because one thing that I realized is that what he was saying, he believed in, number one. And number two, from the outside looking in, some of us need to experience that because we need to know that everything ain't okay. We need to know that when we listen to Joe from Brooklyn ain't the only one that thinks the way that Joe from Brooklyn does. He was, and correct me if I'm wrong, Hatim, but his whole thing as an Italian American was, hey, it's not our fault. It's not white people's fault what happened to you. It's the Jews' fault. You know what I mean? So he was passing the buck to the Jewish folk as if, he's bringing something different to the table. But what he's showing me and what I need my young people to identify with is that no one wants to revisit, or hold account to where we've been and what we've been through. And so the piece is that we have to understand that going through life so that we don't look to become allies with individuals who really don't identify with us on a linear plane. Hatem?
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm giving you all opportunity. Because I'm about to go off. You know what I'm saying? But hey, now I ain't going off yet because Sister Tiandra is on the line, and I'm quite sure she might have something she want to share.
Hi, Tiandra.
Hi, Tiandra.
Hey, hi, everyone. Hi, family. I'm just grateful to be here tonight. And I wanted to say two things is that I'm so glad that we opened up with the two tracks from the Afrocentric album or, piece, because that's beneficial. And I can't wait for the opportunity where, we can start our day like that almost every day, because I feel like that just adds another element to it, because I want to be able to recite it from memory, from spirit. And so don't apologize for that, Brother Hatem, but I understand if you need to, just for you, but I was grateful for it. And then the other thing I want to say is that right now I'm cleaning out my vat or whatever.
She about to get initiated. She about to get initiated. She going through the initiation process.
Now, how we gonna do that, Tim? Because I got one for her and you got one too. What we gonna do?
She got mine.
Oh, okay.
She clearing out the jar and stuff and getting ready right now. So, so she gonna.
You got some tea that's already brewed up, and I'm gonna be there in 48 hours. So.
Okay.
And Shaka, I took your technique in getting a picture that has a spout, just like you have it on your advertisement. So thank you for your expertise in showing that, because of you, that's why I got a jar like this.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yep. So that's all. I'm ready to get started.
All right, family.
Whatever you need to say.
So, Sister J, as usual, jumps off with fire. She burns up the mic when she gets on it, and I love the fact that she sticks. Oh my God, Sister Jackie is on the line. Jackie, you need to call in. We're about to have a powerful conversation, because this folk tale tonight, family, this is a truly nation-building folk tale. This is going to be one that's going to change lives. This is going to be one that's going to open up hearts. This is going to be one that we are going to be able to cover all aspects of the direction we need to be going. Now, Lady J jumps off. She talks about propaganda. She sticks to it. I love that. See, because this is where we are, family. Listen, we come from a culture where mastery is held to the highest esteem. Mastery is the goal. Lady J constantly talks about media and propaganda and how to use it, and she stays on her point, and she don't allow you to shake her off of that. Once she get on it, she on it like a pit bull. Shaka gets on to his piece, but his major piece is being the messenger, and every time you turn on this thing, the key words that come out his mouth is nation builder. Sister Tiandra, she gets on, she says what she need to say, boom, she fades off. You know what I'm saying? Boom. We all are doing what we need to be doing. We all are spokes in the wheel of a great nation, of a great tribe, and of course we're gonna build into the nation. So now, Sister Jackie is on. I don't know if she's gonna get on, but I know she typed fast. So we're about to get into this this folk tale. The one that is a little bit long is called Mercury and the Workman. Please listen up and get ready for comments and discussion, because this one, well, actually, before I do that, let me play another tune, goddammit, because I want to play my album.
Hey man, hold on. What year did that come from? Because I'm sitting here like at first when I came on the line, I swear you was playing UTFO. I thought I was rapping along.
It's about, it's from, this is 91. I think this is 91. This is an album that we put together. To as a community project. So I mean, I'm talking about 1991 at least, maybe 92. You know what I'm saying? So with the old keyboards, we actually had to go to the studio with the 8-track. You know what I'm talking about?
The big, that was before ASR 10s was out.
Oh, dude, that's before all that shit was out. Before all of well, at least let's say this. This is before you could do everything at home. This was when there was no CDs was just coming out. We only was able to get tapes. You understand? Right. This was transferred from a tape. You know what I'm saying? And it's been I haven't had one in over almost 20 years, and one of the elders presented me with it on Imani, and I was like, oh man. So here we go. This one is called, I think this one is called Gye-Nyame. Y'all hear, wait. Y'all hear the sis? This how old this shit is.
Collective work responsibility. I'm trying to kick some knowledge, so listen to me. See, we are a community that does help both deeds for all of us sisters and brothers' needs. And many people will be better than one, so let's all unite and get the work done, such as joining hands and working on a master plan so all the people of the motherland will understand to be more collective and responsible than the white man, because I refuse to lose my faith and mentality. A strong black woman is what I plan to be, and I think I'm gonna make it, you see, because all I need is God, Gye-Nyame. 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 Cause all I need is God, Gye-Nyame. 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 Cause all I need is God. Gye-Nyame. Our teams are killing each other, you know it's crazy. Some of the things they do doesn't seem to amaze me. I just sit back, relax, and watch and observe. Our people are dying, so we need to emerge. Emerging the fact that you're black. I'm a Nubian sister, so step the hell back. Knowledge, I'm trying to break it down to you. And everything you do selling crack, it ain't cool. I come from a genius, so a genius I am. I can create, motivate, and even educate. For the ones who try to make me back into a slave. Check it out, the time there was a battle day. And if you wanna argue and act really dumb, you keep the stuff up and we ain't gonna never overcome. Dr. King didn't die for nothing, I suppose. So let's keep his dream alive, cause that's what he would've chose. And let's come together so his dream could last forever and ever. In the process of that, we can all be free. And all we need is God, Gye-Nyame. 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 Cause all we need is God, Gye-Nyame. 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 Cause all we need is God. We need to come together so all of our black people can last forever and ever. Do you hear what I'm saying? You better wake up.
This ain't 2002. This is 1992.
Story. And keep learning and learning until we headed for the glory. And after that, we can all be free. And all we needed was God, Gye-Nyame. 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 Cause all we need is God, Gye-Nyame. 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 Cause all we need is God, Gye-Nyame.
This damn thing so old, family. We had to practice for a month because we only had 3 hours in the studio. We could only afford 3 hours in the damn studio to record this whole goddamn album. So we had to practice a month in advance, get all the stuff together. As you heard, she was doing her own background vocals and shit. You know what I'm saying? You should have had a group back there going, ooh, Gye-Nyame. No, we couldn't afford that shit. You know, get in there. You doing it all. One take. That's all you get. All right, so, you know, that was Gye-Nyame. I can't remember the young lady's name who did that song. But she was maybe 14 at the time. So, hey, Gye-Nyame. So now here we go with the story, family. Mercury and the Workman. A workman felling wood by the side of a river let his axe drop by accident into a deep pool. Being thus deprived of the means of his livelihood, he sat down on the bank and lamented his hard fate. Mercury appeared and demanded the cause of his tears. After he told him his misfortune, Mercury plunged into the stream and, bringing up a golden axe, inquired if that were the one he had lost. On his saying that it was not his, Mercury disappeared beneath the water a second time and returned with a silver axe in his hand and asked the workman if it were his. When the workman said it was not, he dived into the pool for the third time and brought up the axe that had not been lost. Brought up the axe that had been lost. The workman claimed it and expressed his joy at his recovery. Mercury, pleased with his honesty, gave him the gold and the silver axes in addition to his own. The workman, on his return to his house, related to his companions all that had happened. One of them at once resolved to try and secure the same good fortune for himself. He ran to the river, threw his axe on purpose into the pool at the same place, and sat down on the bank to weep. Mercury appeared to him just as he had hoped he would, and having learned the cause of his grief, plunged into the stream and brought up a golden axe, inquiring if he had lost it. The workman seized it greedily and declared that truly it was the very same axe that he had lost. Mercury, displeased at his knavery, not only took away the golden axe, but refused to recover for him the axe he had thrown into the pool. I'm looking for a replacement for my mythical animals because this laziness that they show is not appropriate. It's not culturally appropriate. They're making all mystical animals look bad. All right, did y'all understand that, or y'all need to hear it again? Uh-oh, we got somebody calling in from New Jersey, 848-333-4216. Who on the line?
Hi, my name is Jamal.
How you doing, Jamal? Welcome. All right.
Thank you.
Did everybody hear the story?
I didn't hear the story.
Yes. So if you could, the story was Mr. Jamal.
Yeah.
But if you search on your phone Mercury and the Workman, you'll be able to read it yourself. That's what I did.
Okay, Mercury and the Workman. Is that a fable?
Yes, that's an Aesop fable.
It's a fable.
Sister Jackie, Sister
I'll
Jackie
look it
said
up.
read it again, so I'm going to read it again. This time with less mistakes. All right? But also, Lady J has figured out the shortcut, because she kind of upset because she told me I need to start posting them up. All right? And she has told me that. I got lazy at my 50th year. I'm like, All right, Mercury and the Workman. A workman felling wood by the side of a river let his axe drop by accident to a deep pool. Being thus deprived of the means of his livelihood, he sat down on the bank and lamented his hard fate. Mercury appeared and demanded the cause of his tears. After he told him his misfortune, Mercury plunged into the stream and, bringing up a golden axe, inquired if that were the one he had lost. On his saying that it was not his, Mercury disappeared beneath the water a second time and returned with a silver axe in his hand, and again asked the workman if it were his. When the workman said it was not, he dived into the pool for the third time and brought up the axe that had been lost. The workman claimed it and expressed his joy at his recovery. Mercury, pleased with his honesty, gave him the gold and the silver axes in addition to his own. The workman, on the return to his house, related to his companions all that had happened. One of them at once resolved to try and secure the same good fortune for himself. He ran to the river and threw his axe on purpose into the pool at the same place and sat down on the bank to weep. Mercury appeared to him just as he had hoped he would, and having learned the cause of his grief, plunged into the stream and brought up a golden axe, inquiring if he had lost it. The workman seized it greedily and declared that truly was the very same axe that he had lost. Mercury, displeased at his knavery, not only took away the golden axe, but refused to recover for him the axe he had thrown into the pool. Y'all got it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's an awesome.
Anybody want to go first? Cause I'm on.
Go ahead, then, Tim. You know you want to anyway.
I'm trying to give y'all opportunity.
I'll go first, and I'll be quick. This is based off of what came to me right away. Is that cool?
That's what's up.
All right. Man, nothing like who you are, you're for. So like, hello?
Go ahead.
Okay. Who you are, you're for. Like, first and foremost, integrity. Like, there's nothing that can outdo integrity. And so regardless of your situation, like sometimes like you're gonna have to do what you need to do to provide for you and yours, but there's a time like you don't have to do it and be grimy about it. Like in ethics classes you talk about when it's okay to steal and do this and that, and there's a level where you're just being grimy. And how did you don't take that personal responsibility for how you got in the situation, even if it was years ago, whatever. I don't want to belabor it too much, but to me it's just integrity, and you help your brother and sister out. So you were talking about how, Tim, when we introduced, when we both, all of us got on and said our little coming things, and how Lady J always talks about media propaganda and how that's her thing, and how everybody's consistent. And my thing is always family. Like, I feel like everybody that I come in contact with, not everybody, but you know what I mean, is family. Like, we all family. Mm-hmm. And we are going to support one another. Like, there is somebody out there that is family going to support you to where you don't have to do something distrustful to try to get ahead. Like, that's never, it's always going to catch back up with you, is what I'm trying to say. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Sister Jackie says, this is the story of how the community was turned into a ghetto. We were always poor, but we had the core essentials: character, morality, and loyalty. Damn. When I'm listen. Anybody else got something they want to?
I'm ready.
Go ahead, baby.
So
Ross
I
the
was
boss.
going to hit on the integrity as well. So that is something that is exhibited. But the second thing was that I find it interesting. The workman must have told his companions about what happened, but I don't know if he communicated what earned him those axes. You know, that it was not just good luck, that he was rewarded for his honesty. And so that without telling his companions the entire story, someone went and tried to do the same thing, but didn't do it correctly, right?
Right.
Then I think about my children. Sometimes I ask them questions that I already know answers to. So the fact that Mercury comes down and he goes and gets the golden axe, and it's like he already knew that wasn't your axe.
Right.
He knew that was a test, and the first workman passed the test. The second workman failed, and he's left without nothing. So I think that, again, it just goes with that work ethic, or that, the honesty, the integrity, and the fact that, sometimes people are asking you questions that they already know answers to, and that you will be rewarded for your honesty and your character.
Sister Jackie added, now, I got to read it all together, so I'm going to start over. This is the story of how the community was turned into a ghetto. We were always poor, but we had the core essentials: character, morality, and loyalty. First, He shared the information with the community, and one of the villagers ran to the bank to be deceptive and greedy, and the ghetto was born. Well, goddamn, Jackie, you right. I mean, she's the bomb writer, man.
And ladies, that just made me think about something about how with us it's always like, oh yeah, I just hit a lick, da da da, and then you make it sound as if like it was something that you did or that it was just a lick, but you didn't explain how you got there, and that's also being covetousness. Covetousness, isn't that the word?
Right.
And then again, like that's another show of integrity to not be like, yo, like I was honest, I was struggling, like, and that's the other thing we like to, and it's not we, so we're not going to claim it, but when we did, a part of our identity did become the ghetto and become this toxic thing, it was about not being honest about who you were and where you are in life and trying to front and trying to fit into this system that wasn't created for us and with us in mind. And like, yeah, it's like wearing all the jewelry and all the, have the car, whatever, but like struggling. But then be like, oh yeah, I just got this from doing that. So somebody else run back and try to do the same thing. And then they stuck and they in the same pigeonhole because they're trying to mimic that life that you're perpetrating. Just like sometimes the hip hop culture, what that turned into when the white man got a part of it. So that makes me think of that too.
All right.
Yeah. So two things. With regards to, I used to have the same idea or perception about our fascination with shiny things, right? And then I realized that maybe we came from shiny things. Maybe that's like in kind of a part of us. I don't know. To long for those things. But something that you said that I just want to piggyback is that one thing that we dropped was something that we're doing right now, reading these fables. We no longer teach morals. We no longer teach values. And so that is like that missing piece, manners. We no longer teach manners. And so our kids, we dropped the ball. So even when we came up and we were poor, and we were in those adverse situations, we still had our character. Like, it didn't matter that you was poor. You still respected your elders. It didn't matter that you were poor. You still didn't look down on people who had less than you. You spoke with thank you, and if you weren't calling someone Mrs. or Miss, you were calling them auntie, but you couldn't call them by their name. You know what I'm saying? And that was lost. It's like the basics. Treat people how you want to be treated. Lost. You know what I'm saying? Like the golden rule, just lost. The morals, the values. We just dropped the ball on those things, and what we see is the result. It's the result. It's not the result of having. They always talk about teen parents, but in my family, that's always been the case. My great grandmother was young, right? Her mother was probably young. My grandmother, my mother, everybody was young. So it's not just about young parents. It's about that young mentality, right? But yeah, it's the fact that we're missing out on the basics.
Brother on 848, if you got something to say, you better jump in, my friend, because we get it in here. You know, welcome to the family.
I'm gonna start off. Wait, we going Jamal? Go ahead, brother.
I don't know. I mean, I know everything changed, from the crack epidemic. Back in the 80s, that changed everything. So it was like it was a survival instinct after that. You know what I mean? Because, all the families and stuff, you know what I mean, in the village looking out, for everyone in it, it just totally changed. You remember, you have to. You guys lived back then. You know what I'm saying?
I'm too young. I don't remember that.
On parks, like everywhere, just full. You know what I mean? And the children going in there and sorting them apart by colors, like it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So
shouts out to Miss Jackson as well. But go ahead, bro. I'm listening.
I mean, I'm just saying, what do you think is going to result from that? You know, definitely not no families that are intact.
Word.
It's a survival instinct. You went from people like who you grew up with, and you could name like each place, each house, each apartment, to like, you know what I mean, people coming in for like 3 or 4 months, and then they got to get evicted because they can't pay $8 rent.
So if that was the cause, we're definitely, and I was a product of that generation. I lived in it, but still, there were basics that were taught. And maybe if you didn't get it from your parents, you got it from a grandparent, you got it from a neighbor. You still got those basics. So I get that was the beginning of the disconnect, but right now we're not in that era. We're in an era where people are just simply preoccupied with themselves and all things that don't matter. And we're also in an era where people want to fix things and they don't want to turn inward to fix them. It would be easier for me to say this.
Get it in, man. Get it. Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm listening, Jamal. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying those children grew up from that period, and they had children. And then, you know what I mean, with everything being as chaotic as it was, I mean, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to be bringing their children up right either, if they're even in their lives.
Wait, hold on.
Flower grow from a concrete? Those things don't make us.
But yeah,
those things make us stronger.
Those situations like
some of us,
the minimum. Some of us, once in a while, once in a blue moon, yeah, it happens. When it happens, it's a beautiful thing. But for all of the people that were, affected, as a collective, it's a lot of casualties.
Hold on. Sister Jackie said, absolutely, I agree with the caller talking about the crack era. Every drug dealer that tried to make a come up by feeding his family off the destruction of the other families is the brother that ran to water to throw that axe. See, because let me
flip the script just a little bit.
Go ahead.
I get it. All right. In one word, welfare. All right, because here's the piece, and this is not to reflect just the sisters. So I just want y'all to know, when I start talking about the welfare mentality, we started, and I don't even know how to. Okay, look, we started to take advantage of all of these little loopholes where it caused the rest of us who were truly in a situation where we needed a help. I remember when I was young, and I didn't see a food stamp until my dad's girlfriend came from New Jersey and was like, let me show y'all how to flip this. And I'm talking about real food stamps, like back in the day when I didn't remember the faces on them. I just knew that I didn't want to get sent to the store with them. Because I used to get sent to the store with some food stamps to get cigarettes. I didn't understand the logic in that. But the whole piece is that ever since the beginning of that system, we have found loopholes to be able to abuse those systems. So now in this generation, it's different than back in the day where, by the way, movie night, I'm going to just say it, Claudine.
Somebody put that on the list too.
I'm just saying, Claudine is where we should. All right, so but there is no. Claudine is a minority right now. Claudine is a minority in the sense that. What am I hearing? In the sense that nowadays the systems that step into that process oftentimes are already taught how to manipulate the system so that make sure that you're the one that's going to collect the taxes. Make sure that you don't want, you know what I mean? Even if the babies ain't yours, just, do this thing, and this is how you come up. So we use this system to come up, and in our minds, we working smarter, not harder. But at the end of the day, if that's the only system that you've learned to master, then when that's snatched up from under you, what else do you have? And so that is what I feel that we're dealing with, where, you know, we take something that was you know, put out there for those who truly had misfortune, and we stepped into it as opportunists. And because we stepped into it as opportunists, those who are actually, you know, dealing with that type of misfortune are either A, left out, or vilified for their state of destitute.
All right, now, because woohoo, man. Let's pause for a second, because I'm gonna play another song from the 90s. I'm gonna do another selection here. Hold on. The Sister Jackie say Claudine is the foundation of what I call welfare entrapment. The system is set up for impoverished mothers to not have a man in the household, and if you do, then you will break his back from demands and responsibilities that there is no way he could handle alone. Yet black women were still not welcome in the workforce. All right, hey, we about to get it. We now hold on, family, because we about to get into this. But this next track is from a fella that I know pretty well. He traveled all over the world. He was pretty young back then, but you know, he put his foot on the track. All right, here we go. Let's see.
Come on, I praise God as I rock the mic. Say what? I praise God as I rock the mic. Come on, I praise God as I rock the mic. What situation is pitiful? Blackness is critical, defining our race and mind, not political. I'm starting with force to keep us on course. Using the pen that built us as my main source. Our children will guide us with ignorance behind us, removing the shades that once had blinded us. So up to the crossroad, straight for my black hole, communing with brothers. Straight from my Mac code, I step in as God with the mic is my ride, helping every selection straight to go from a pie. I enter, I'm a tap, exhalation will tap. Now that you know what's up, make sure you watch your step. I rise with the sun, it's a new day begun. Off the walk on my path, it's up to the one. I'm looking for unity, not for no casualties. By working together, we step for humanity. I want what was given. I'm far beyond 7 because I know and realize that Jesus, the gates of heaven. Black woman, I love you. Black sister, respect the thee. Reach deep down into yourself. Save our community. Our laborers on our side. Allah will bless us right. While will rise with truth. Jah will not criticize. Jesus will bless thee. It's part of the prophecy. Look deep into your soul. Truth will set you free. Your innocence full effect. Don't be a fool black. Hope your professions are born into a spirit check. I praise God. I praise God. I praise God. I praise God as I rock the mic. Come on. I praise God as I rock the mic. Say what? I praise God as I rock the mic. Come on. I praise God as I rock the mic. I'm going inside to take a look at all the sex I couldn't see in the book. Born on this planet in a mortal mind state. Mission civilized is a 348. Communication with the skill to build. Power to define as I direct my will. To save my people on the planet Earth. I got to go to the underground first. Listening to my elders as I reach my youth. Seeking to elders as I speak the truth. Following the order that's ordained by God. With my head, my antenna, and my mic is my rod. Being a good shepherd, I'ma feed my sheep. So I lay my body down so no more to breathe. That's why I praise God. I praise God as I rock the mic. Come on. I praise God as I rock the mic. Say what? I praise God as I rock the mic. Come on. I praise God as I rock the mic. Say what? I praise God as I rock the mic. Come on. I praise God as I rock the mic. Say what? I praise God as I rock the mic. Come on. I praise God as I rock the mic. Shot to my brother, to all my brothers and my sisters in Compton and Underground Railroad. I'd like to send some specials out. My brother Water, my brother Seven Guests, and then I say Hope Chapel.
we got to go deep into this one. This is a true nation building folktale, family. I want y'all now. Did everybody get it in? Everybody got it in? Because y'all ready for the conversation. We're about to go into it. First step. First one. We have a workman who is actually doing what he is born to do. What he has, that's thank you. We got a workman who was doing what they were supposed to be doing. Out in the field, out chopping down a tree, accidentally he loses his axe. He loses his method of making money for his family. The universe, see, because we can put Mercury in here, but Mercury basically represents the universe. The universe sees him crying, answers, and jumps into the pool and does what's called an initiation. I keep talking about this initiation. Initiation is asking a question that the individual has to answer. It's giving the individual a problem that the individual got to solve. So when he brings up the gold one, he looks at it, that's not mine. Although, I mean, this dude is struggling. We know that he's cutting down wood. He's cutting wood, so we know he ain't making a lot of money. But he's honest. Brings up a silver one. No, that's not mine. When he brings up the original axe, not only did he claim it as his, he basically danced for joy. For this all broken down axe, when he could have had the gold one or the silver one, he was satisfied with the one that he had. The one he had developed a relationship with, the one that had been feeding his family. He did not, in a sense, turn his back on that one for these other ones. And as a reward for that, he received something from the universe. So one of his friends listening, who might not even we don't even know if his friend did the same type of work he did. Took the axe, wasn't even trying to work, just throw the shit in the pool and act like he crying. So now, this gets into a whole nother side of next bill. So first off, go ahead. You want to say something?
Let me say this because it just dawned on me parallels between this story and my own experiences. All right. Now, first of all, I had just told this story. I just told this story to one of my fraternal brothers how back in the day when I was in Columbus, I started this program called the Sons of Light. And I didn't have a lot of people that believed it. It was a brand new thing, and I'm talking about, just really, you were part of the conversation. So the Sons of Light started at the same time you started doing your piece on the level of Gye-Nyame. And the piece is that the whole conversation about Sons of Light, light is an acronym that stands for leaders instilling guidance and higher thought, right? So we're shining light and we are breeding shiners of light. Now, the piece is that in the neighborhood, I met this brother and gave him one of my brochures while I was outreaching. And what he did with that was took it to City Gear and cut and pasted everything that I had worked on and called it a program called SAM, Saving African American Males. And with SAM, he entered into some type of contest where he received a grant for it, and then through the work that he did for SAM, he had gotten an award, a plaque. And later on in life, he becomes initiated into the craft that I belong to. And now that he's on this other side, he's got this thing of honesty where we're sitting at the bar together. He says, you know what, man, I got it, now that we're brethren, I got to tell you that I basically cut and pasted your program and it made so much sense to them that, I got awarded for it. And I'm waiting for the other shoe to fall because when you see me sitting at the bar, understand that I've never been a drinker. So sitting at the bar meant for me that I was going through some things. I was going through a divorce. I know I'd already been through a divorce. I was going through the aspect of, my child was at large. I knew where she was. I'm dealing with all kinds of stuff. And I'm just looking at this brother like, nothing's changed. Because it was never a thing of, I apologize for taking that. or I apologize for not supporting your thing instead. So on one level, that's one thing that I'm very conscious of. So how that changed my behavior, I started giving people stuff to steal. I started talking about ideas that I wanted them to steal so that they would, because human nature is a mug, ain't it?
It is.
Right?
It is.
So, piece is, now, you look at my equipment right now, I got the same workstation that I had back in 2002. Almost 20 years old, I got this Yamaha Motif 6. If you put some shiny new keyboard in front of me, workstation, man, it's like putting me in a rocket ship. I don't know how to use that. This is my baby. This is my tool. This is the one thing that assures that when I sit down at it, I can produce without trying to figure out this learning curve, without feeling funny because the weight is different. You understand? When I sit on the Triton, I feel like I'm sitting on a toy. You know, so the whole piece is that when you are in the different trades, you know, I have a very particular hammer that I use when I'm doing carpentry. I have a very particular drill that I'm accustomed to when I'm hanging drywall. My tools, my machete says it all. You understand? It's everything, every tool that I have is custom to fit me. Whether it's old, whether it's new, it's not, you know, it's for me. It's not for you. You understand? And this is the piece, is that, you know, I learned that from my grandfather. My grandfather had one job his whole life, right? And when it comes to the tools that he used, you know, he don't need this fancy laser stuff. He grew up doing, so when it comes, that's the difference, Hatem. And the moral of the story is that's the difference between a laborer and a tradesman and a craftsman. Craftsman is one with his tools. His tools is an extension of him. And so if you'll accept any tool, that shows how, to me, that's a thing of loyalty. If I show you coming up to the work site with a Ryobi drill, I know you just here to make some money overnight, because a real craftsman ain't using no Ryobi nothing. You know what I mean? Well, you know, and people used to laugh when you came with that blue bag of you know, that thing that you bought from Home Depot that's filled with tools for like $99. You get the whole tool kit. It's like, yeah, this dude is just you know,
he's a tourist. He's not authentic.
Right.
He's not, I mean, because a samurai has a particular sword. This dude, his tool, I mean, it's like, because the word integrity was popping up in there too. This dude was showed and demonstrated all the tools that we need to build tribes and build nations. Integrity. You know what I'm saying? Cultural appropriateness. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't willing, I mean, think about this. He wasn't willing to trade his axe, his old axe, for a new gold axe or a new silver axe. He had integrity. He had a history. He wanted his. Even though that gold one could have benefited, even though the silver one could have benefited, he wanted his. And a lot of us don't understand this. See, because it's like, because part of the issues too, family, because, you know, we can say crack, we can say welfare, but we got to remember, those of us that was raised up in that shit, you know, the major reason that crack was able to do what it did was because all of us was raised up on that get money shit. Money trumped everything. When we was coming up, all of y'all got to, I mean, anybody that's over 45 understand money trumped everything. If you're going to college, it's about money. You still hear some people saying that shit on Facebook. It's about money. Get the money. Teaching don't pay no money. I don't care if you like working with people. You need to work with numbers. You need to learn how to work with computers. You need to learn, you know what I'm saying, technical skills and shit. Money rule. So when you raise a generation of individuals and you tell them money over everything, because our kids came out talking about money over bitches. Money over this. You can only have something like a crack epidemic when money trumps everything. Money trumps the relationship with my mama. I sell my mama crack. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened with us. And we allowed the integrity and the connections to slip because we wanted the gold. We wanted the silver because we were taught that was everything. And as a matter of fact, you need to get enough money so that you can get away from me. You know what I'm saying? Get away. You need to escape. You know what I'm saying? Even though I love my community, even though I love my neighborhood, I was taught my whole life that I need to get up out of it.
Yeah, and that's still, I don't know. I think that things are still being taught and they're still within our culture, but I think that our young people are maybe becoming more boisterous. And so able to speak up and be like, yo, like, no, like, I'm going to do this and speak up and speak out. But something that you said earlier about the act, it's that relationship piece. Like, I already have a relationship with my act. I know how my act works. It's fit for my hand. So although you pull out this gold and this silver and these shiny things, it's like, nah, like, I'm rocking with mine. And it just makes me think about this whole initiation piece for the Ambrosia, June. I guess I have to think of a name will come to me what mine will be called. But that, you know, you spend time with it and that now it's yours and that's a part of your responsibility and it's an extension of you. That was already something that one of you all had said. But yeah, it's just that relationship piece. But I feel like some of our young people are still focused on the money thing. And they feel like, I watched one of them say, like, first get your bread up and then pursue your passion. And that's what some of them are on right now. It's like, I just need to make money so I can acquire property and then I can do what I'm supposed to do. And then it's like, you're crazy to do anything else. Like, everybody needs to be making money right now. But, yeah, I mean, and I was taught the same thing. Like, why do you want to work with people? Why are you going into education? Why are you doing this and that? Because the money's not there. Or the other piece is when they tell people that, oh, you know, that field is oversaturated. There aren't any jobs in it. And it's like, yo, like, if this is your passion, it's what you're created for, and you, like, pursue that and you work at that, you are going to find a job. Like, the job will find you. It will create itself. Like, don't pursue an industry that today has a market for jobs. You know what I mean?
Word.
I've heard I mean, especially in hip hop, how many young rappers / music producers do you know that came up in a drug game thinking with the same plan, like, yo, I'm going to stack enough to be able to get my stuff right, get the studio, get my album done, and then I'm out the game? How many of them make it? How many of them actually make it to that point before they get killed or get locked up?
It's sad. Let's just say it's sad. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can't even give you a statistic, but it's sad because we know something, don't we?
Oh, man. Right.
I'm going to get my bread up. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, they're going for the gold rather than, you know what I'm saying? And then what makes it worse is that we got a few that get chosen, in a sense, to deliver that message and still be, I mean, millionaires and still be pumping out these songs talking about this shit like they still doing it. Sister Jackie say,
I mean,
hold on. Sister Jackie say, but also we have been poor for centuries, but we had not been impoverished of the mind. Drugs hit at a time when we were lost and government were running scared because we had just lost our leaders. Woo, this girl could write. Go ahead, Jackie. Government were running scared because we had just lost our leaders and the hope had gone with it. And there was nothing more scary for the government than a hopeless people with ethics and morality because there was nothing to lose in the right direction. But you throw some drugs into the powder keg that we were living in, an exact explosion in the wrong direction was complete, and a machine they knew would run itself effortlessly. And it's running effortlessly right now. Lady J has something to say too. Hold on, Lady J has something to say as well. But I don't. Lady J.
I'm here.
Go ahead. You was gonna say something.
No, I wasn't going to say anything. I'm listening, and I am in agreement. I'm definitely just pretty much in agreement. And I think that I too have been. I know I've been in the same predicament that I'm gonna. How can I forget his name? Shaka has been in. I actually. Several years ago, I had a blueprint, something that I had envisioned that I drew out, and I literally drew it. You know, I had this idea, and I had been sitting on it, and I ended up meeting with like-minded people, and I shared it with them. However, though they, agreed with my vision. Though they bought into it, they did not believe, or we could not agree on how it was going to be implemented. And so
they ran with it.
Yeah, and I gave them what I call, I gave them freedom over my intellectual property with the understanding that they would not be able to implement it the way that it was designed because you didn't design it. Right? You didn't design it. So what happened was there was a young man named Leon Ford who had been shot by the police. And through I was doing a blog talk. I came into I met this young man, and he brought with him a following and people who were ready for change. And one of these young ladies, she was Puerto Rican, and she was in New York. And she was active, you know what I'm saying? And once we created and we got this, this group going, and, we had a number of individuals who were linked with us who had different types of resources. You know what I'm saying? So if we were going to a protest, we wouldn't need to buy shirts because we got someone that's going to produce the shirts. We wouldn't need flyers because we got someone who has the capability of producing these things, right? So we're networking, but they decide that this individual that was in New York, this Puerto Rican, couldn't be a part of what we were doing because she was Puerto Rican. And so my thing to them was, and they weren't very secretive about that. But my thing to them is that I overtly, for one, this girl was putting in work, right? She was about the life, and I felt like excluding her because she was Puerto Rican and because she wasn't black was unheard of, and I couldn't be a part of that, and so I stepped away. All of those things that we had to put into place soon enough fell apart, and it was due to ego, right? Mm-hmm. It was due to ego. People weren't willing to compromise. People weren't willing to listen, and the other piece was if this was my intellectual property, if I came up with this idea and I shared it with you, but you don't know how to implement it, right? It's not going to be successful. So I was able to walk away from that, but it was hard. It was difficult, but I walked away knowing that you're not going to be able to do with that what needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to go anywhere for you. And that's what happened. So egotistical individuals, greedy individuals, people who lack just lack basic
character,
humane print. Yeah, character. Like that was just
integrity.
It was stupid.
They wasn't see. It was. Let's get to the second dude. The second dude in this story illustrates a lot of people that we run into, unwhole people. Because I want y'all to think about this. Homeboy go back and he tells of his fortune. rather than going out and getting it in the right way, this dude go, don't try to chop no trees, ain't doing no work, just throw the thing in the pool and pretends. He goes and he's a counterfeit. Shaka, you had a whole show about counterfeit. This dude is a counterfeit. And when it came to the initiation, he wasn't able to cross over.
Right.
He wasn't able to cross over. You understand what I'm saying?
You know what, Hatim, that was the same thing. That was the point that I was making with you the other night when we were talking about you spending your life, you know, building towards this thing of self-mastery, and somebody going on YouTube and just from a speculative space, you know, learning the allegory, learning your stories, learning, you know what I mean? And so they glean into the world of self-mastery without ever going through any real initiation. And that's the whole point.
Now, but what I'm saying now, even from them, you can learn. But what I'm saying is when it comes to the initiation, because what was the initiation? The initiation was character. You have an opportunity here. You could become very wealthy. Right? You could become very wealthy. Homeboy didn't even allow him to get to the second. You know what I'm saying? Homeboy didn't even allow him to get to the silver. As soon as he seen the gold, that's mine. Right there, he exposed himself. And when people tell us and show us who they are, we don't need to argue with ourselves no more. We know who they are.
Oh, the Cinderella story.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
the Cinderella story. That's my glass slipper.
That's my glass slipper. You know what I'm saying? Now, and see, people don't even know the real Cinderella. I mean, because if you go back and you find the real Cinderella story, them women were so treacherous that they cut their feet. One of them cut their feet so that they could wear them shoes. They actually, I mean, if you read the way them stories were, she cut her foot off so she could squeeze her foot into the damn sandal. Now that's when the stories wasn't sanitized, because like I keep telling y'all, these folk tales and they wasn't originally designed for kids. They was designed to give us discussions and to give us lessons. We sanitized them for the children. We made them socially acceptable for the children, but these stories, these folk tales was for us. So as nation builders, we know that one of the major ways that we test people is by their integrity, is by their character. We watch. You know what I'm saying? Is this person going for, like for example, you hear a lot of people in the community talking about the bag. You know what I'm saying? Is this person doing the work for the work's sake, for the love of the people, or is this person doing the work for the bag? You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? That's interesting, because a lot of the kids that I work with, they caught on real fast when it came to the counterfeit. Because here's the piece, Hatim. I used to do dine-in discussion every Monday night. Pizza Chicago Pizza told me that because of what I was doing in the community, they'd sell me whatever pizza I wanted for $5 a pop, right? So when the kids from the neighborhood realized that Shaka feeding us on Monday, we got to be there at 6, or else everybody gonna come bum rush the food or whatnot, I let it be known that, listen, if you ain't got nothing to contribute to the conversation, don't come, right? And so it was very easy. We would sit there and we would just sit the pizzas, maybe 10 pizzas at a time, just sit them in a row on the table, and everybody knew, don't touch them until we bless the food. Have you ever been to the dine-in discussion, or was that?
Yeah. You talking about when it was on Livingston, right? Or you talking about? Yeah.
Well, even when we was at the shortstop, we was doing it over there, right?
Right.
So Virgil and all kinds of young people would come, and that's the one thing that I really loved about. I don't know if you remember Charles Wooden, rest in peace. But all of these young cats, they'd be out on the streets and they'd all gather up on Monday. But the piece is that anybody that went to go touch the boxes first, like they took care of that. Like, they'd step them outside like, yo, that's not the way we roll here. We ain't here just for the food. We got to talk first. And then those cats, they'll leave. They'll leave until it's just the ones that's interested in what we're dealing with. And then we open the boxes, we bless the food, and we eat. So as a community, what I'm saying is that once we develop a system where they say real recognize real, steel sharpens steel, the kids started stepping in and becoming more territorial towards the things that, I started, because they were, not only did they not want me to be taken advantage of, but they also didn't want to share with people who wasn't contributing.
Right. Because that was part of the system that you had developed. You know what I'm saying? Right now we got a system where it's not politically correct for us to be honest with individuals about their fuckery. You know what I'm saying? You're allowed to do fuckery, you know what I'm saying? And it's not politically correct to challenge the fuckery, and you're supposed to feel bad if you challenge the fuckery because I'm do as thou wilt. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because really, when you really look at it, people got mad at Jay-Z for wearing the T-shirt, but motherfuckers is doing as thou wilt. This is what's going on. This is not just a generation. I ain't talking about the kids, because one of the things I'm very clear about, family, we don't have a kid problem. We never, in our community, never had a youth problem. We got adult problems. You know what I'm saying? Because they imitating us. Mm-hmm. Period. And we got to be clear about that. And the piece that we have to start working on is our characters. Is our character in check? Are we operating with integrity? You know what I'm saying?
Right, and they do what we allow, and not just they as in you, but I think people around you do what you allow.
Oh, yeah.
So I hear what Lady J was talking about as far as manners and stuff. I don't play that. If I open the door for you and we're just out and about, I am going to look you in your eye and say, you're welcome, because you're going to recognize the fact that I stood there and I opened the door for you. And it's not about like I'm better than or you owe me that, but it's like I see you and I know that you can carry yourself better than that, and the expectation is raised, and so you know that you know better than that, and then that's an opportunity for me to smile at you and then recognize that you know I see you. And I got to spend a couple days at the school today, or these past couple days, with Mr. Brown, with Brother Hakeem, and I think I sneezed, and nobody said anything. And I was like, no, not. And then they were both like, bless you. I'm like, thank you. I appreciate you.
It could me.
And even today, like in this culture, I was just talking about this the other day. I was raised to say, yes, sir, and ma'am. And I say it to my students. I've had plenty of classrooms of my own, and I address my students as that just because it's my term of endearment. And I understand that it came from, somebody else's culture and all this and that, but that's not the intent that I had behind it. And when I'm in the certain culture to say, auntie or brother or sister, then I'll say that. But it's the spirit behind it. And now we have to second guess, you reach out to people, especially like through email and stuff. And I always want to address somebody as Miss or Mr. But then heaven forbid I address somebody as Miss and they have a PhD. And so it's like I try my best to do as much research as I can to see if it's just, and then now it's like, don't call me Mr. because I'm not addressed by those pronouns. Like, and you just are walking on eggshells, and all I'm trying to do is show you respect.
Well, hey,
and then people get offended about the smallest things, but I can't help. People can feel my intent. If they're going to respect
that's just going to get even more worse. Because you can't...
Yeah, I'm not going.
I am the same exact way. And something that you just said just resonated with me, and that is that this is a learned behavior. It is definitely a learned behavior. I work in a building where certain individuals, I can speak to them, and they don't respond. And so I will break my neck to say it louder so that I'm speaking to you, but children are watching. And to the point where the other day for the in recognition of the incident that happened during the month of February with those 17 that were murdered, instead of doing a walkout, my school chose to have the students write 17 notes to individuals that they were not familiar with, that they did not know. And so a lot of my students that I know personally, they gave me notes, but the most meaningful notes came from those students who know me, but I don't know them. And one student wrote me a note that let me know that she is watching. Not only is she watching how others treat me, she is watching how I respond. And her note said, Miss Frost, I admire you because you are so confident. You don't care what other people think about you. You do you. And so when she wrote that, I said, wow, she must be watching these same adults. She must be listening to them. She must be watching them when they're putting up their nose or when they're walking out of, we have town hall and I'm showing these, I'm actually head of the propaganda at my school. Every morning I bombard my kids with positive motivational videos, positive speakers, right? Every day. And some people, it kills them to their core. They cannot imagine that instead of punishing these kids looking down on them, or you know what I mean, I would rather fill their cup. And they don't think that these kids are capable of caring or capable of being interested in certain things, and it happens. So these kids are watching. They're watching how people treat others, but they're also watching how people respond. And so it just filled my cup to know that this girl was like, because I know, but she just let me know the kids know too. I see it. But she let me know, Miss Ross, you're not crazy. We see it too. And good thing for being you. Good thing you continue to do, even when you know you're not most popular, when you're probably most hated amongst some of these staff, that you keep fighting for us. You keep, doing what you feel is right. And that means everything. So these kids are watching. And they are definitely getting their behavior from the adults.
From adults. And now another lesson from this folktale is that when we cry, the universe responds. When we cry, the universe responds. Family, you know what I'm saying? And we need to, but hold on. Basically, I think we all concur that the ethics, morality, and loyalty and general character of the hardworking ancestors and elders that ran from, snuck out, migrated from the evils of the South. Woo, there she go. I migrated from the evils of the South have dissipated, and we have to build village wherever we can to teach our children that everything about them and of them is enough. When the people feel they are enough, they will always want what is theirs, and I want it returned. It is truly the principalities of the situation that matters. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah.
That's from Sister Jack.
And with that, I concur with what you said earlier about learning from a novice, right? I felt like before I left Columbus, and I left kind of with my tail between my legs because I left without my daughter. I left, kind of retreating, trying to find refuge away from the murk.
Right.
You understand? And
I've been there.
And when I left, I felt like one commitment I made to myself is that no other child deserves my time until my daughter is back where she needs to be. And I carried that all the way from the time that I left Columbus and went to New Jersey, all the time that I was in New Jersey. I started, I just went into one of my other skills. I started doing carpentry and I started doing home renovations, worked at Home Depot for a while. And, by the time I made it back to Cleveland, I'm performing a lot more than I did on the East Coast. I was doing a lot more recording on the East Coast and came back to Cleveland and started doing music and started sitting in with Carlos Jones and his reggae band. And so from that scene, there's a brother named Sean Ali. And Sean Ali was a principal at a school, and he was like, Brother Shock, you got to come out to the school. Please, please, please. And I didn't want to go all deep into why I wouldn't do it. And, he was so persistent, though. He was so persistent that one day he made me promise that week, even if I needed a ride, he'd come get me. And he didn't. I just took the bus down to the school, and lo and behold, I look at the door, and the name of the school that he's the principal of is called the Phoenix Academy. And I walk up the steps to this, auditorium where he's supposed to meet me at. And I walk in with all these kids from like second grade. It was a lunch period. There's the second graders up to, I think they said second up to fourth grade. And so, he says, I'll go. And all the kids say, I may. And when I heard that, it brought me right back front and center. Because I realized where I'm, right? And then he says, y'all don't know this brother by his face, but you listen to his music daily. And he turns to me and he whispers to me like, your album is exactly 45 minutes long, and that's a nap and meditation time. So we just play your album during meditation, and when it's over with, they know it's time for lunch. And that just almost brought me to tears, man, that these kids, after hearing that for almost 6 months, they knew every word and every lyric to my song. And so as they're greeting me, the smallest one, he comes over to me and he looks at Brother Ali and he says, please, can I do it? And I'm broken down by now. When he says my name and he says Shaka Hasbury, and they scream like I'm the Beatles, man. They screaming like I'm the Beatles. And that vibration, when all their voices are clashing and screaming and hollering, it broke me down. It broke through that wall. I could not deny it. And when the smallest one came up to me and he begged the principal, he said, can I please do it? And Brother Ali said, go ahead. This little dude stood 2 feet in front of me. And he looked me in the eye and he pounded on his chest. And you know what he said out there?
What'd he say?
Minute by minute. And I look at him, I say, hour by hour. And he says, if you lose your faith, and I say, you lose your power. He said, minute by minute. And I just, man, tears just started coming down. And all the kids thought that I was choked up, so they stood up and said my part for me. Oh. So I'm saying, man.
Family.
And they teachers. They brought me back into this. You understand? It took them. So
in the many forms.
I don't know. I just really felt like I needed to share that.
Yeah, but in the many forms that the creator, the universe, answers our cries. Even when we don't know we crying. See, because like I said, man, the importance of these folk tales is we got to understand that what we going through, our ancestors have already been through. In many different shapes and many different varieties, and they left us this crystallized wisdom that we could go into and we could go and be assured that we ain't the only ones going through this. Right? You know what I'm saying? We talking about principles. We talking about integrity. We talking about living a certain way and how we are protected because we do that. You know what I'm saying? Because the first workman was protected. The second one was an imposter. He wasn't even a workman. He was an imposter. And we got to, you know what I'm saying? And the universe is going to show us and eliminate those imposters from our lives, family. And we got to be ready for that because sometimes it's going to be uncomfortable because sometimes some of those might not be who we think it is. But family, listen, I'm about to get on up because this is like 10:30. Sister Jackie shutting down with her old self. You know what I'm saying? Brother Hatim got to go to bed. But before I go out, I'm going to play one more track from this album. And we will continue with the rest of the album on Ujamaa because I will be able to stay on a lot later. This one is called Hysteria. Y'all hear the sis?
My history. I was never born in slavery. When I speak, I mean. I am therefore we are a people whose legacy transcends 400 years of European captivity. This is my history.
rooted in African spirituality, preaching and teaching to love the original self, respect nature, ancestor veneration, seek the righteous path to knowledge, wisdom and understanding of life and death, because we live forever. As long as our children speak about our African legacy, this is my history. From Amenhotep to Malcolm X, from Hatshepsut to Assata Shakur, from the Orisha to Kwanzaa, from Cairo to the Cape, from Cuba to Trinidad and Tobago, from Asia to Australia, from the beginning of time to infinity. This is my history. Nubia, Kemetia, Ashanti, Wolof, Hausa, Yoruba, Zulu, African people, black people, my people, our people. Now when I speak of black, I mean color, culture, and spiritual consciousness. To know that self-knowledge is key to our liberty in this war against Euro-American South African brutality. This is my history. This is my history. Them say what is to be must be. Life is but a continuous cycle. But now I speak, we write in foreign tongues because they came, they saw, they conquer. Genocide I roots mine, like the devil they stole we land. Kidnap with soul for pieces of gold, rape my mother, behead my father, castrate my brother, lost for my sister. This is my history. Victims of European pirates of the seven seas, who came in boats from ships, sailed by heroes of Caucasian descendants. Sir Francis Drake, Henry Morgan, Christopher Colon, Henry the Navigator, John Hawkins, who stripped us and packed us like rats in hulls of slave ship, a free trip down Atlantic lane, to experience only sorrow and pain. This is my history. This is my history. Once living in high society, while the beast of Yulan with baton in hand, remind me of 20th century Babylon. From the cave they sprang with the assistance of an African, only to wreak havoc in foreign land. Talking about Ice Age people, European people, British, French, Dutch, Spanish, Portuguese, white people. Now when I speak of white, I mean those racist crackers who plot to annihilate my story. This is my history. This is my history. Telling her story, because in essence I am she and she is me. As godlike beings, let us restore our strength and power. No right from wrong. Teach the youth the truth about him African roots. This is my history. So don't be pessimistic, because all is not lost. Since I stand before you, moving and grooving to revolutionary sounds invoked by my lost but found spiritual self. So picture a scene of the moon and the sun, because that is truly she and me. This is my history.
That was my big brother Mozzie up at Tachete. Give it up, God damn it! Oh my God! I ain't heard that in 26 years. right, so now, family, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. I want to say thank you. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Anime. Get it
we get any closing words tonight?
Okay, hold on.
And is Brother Jerome still on? Did we ever address, welcome him to share? Invite him to the conversation?
I told him he got to jump in, but that's true. Go ahead, Jamal. You better go on, man. We're going to do some closing because Lady J wasn't going to let me do my outro without giving everybody an opportunity to speak. And since she's the newest one in the family, my brother, the mic is yours.
What am I supposed to say?
I think we got to give them an example. I think that's fair.
You want to give him an example?
I wasn't even talking about final words, just inviting him to, it's open, so at any point in time you could have been invited into the conversation or you could feel like you can jump in. And so...
right, well, I felt like that. Thank you. I didn't realize that I thought I was just calling in to listen, but I didn't know that this was going to be interactive like this. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we hope you come back.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'll be back. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I thought I was clear at the beginning, Brother Jamal, man. You make sure you jump in.
No, it wasn't you. It was just how I understood it. I've never seen anything like this before.
I hope you liked it. But
no, it was very beautiful.
Thank you. So now, who gonna start off with the closing? Who want to do the closing before we go? Make it quick, y'all, because we on 2 hours now. I love y'all, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I just want to point out that since Tatum has had his 70th birthday, maybe we should start at 7 so he can be in bed by 9. But my message. Oh, okay. My message never changes. It's always the same. Are we still laughing at my joke?
No, I'm laughing at the fact that you didn't call in for 2 weeks because I talked about your flip phone. But that's cool. But go ahead.
I doubt very seriously that I didn't call in for 2 weeks because you talked about my phone.
Well, hold on, Shaka. Do you remember when I made the joke about the flip phone? She hung up. And she just now calling back, and that was 2 weeks ago. That was 2 stories. You done missed 2 stories since then, so that might be 3 weeks ago. I'm just
saying.
Was
3 weeks ago, and the reason I know she was probably just waiting for her minutes to re-up.
Yeah, or I've been preoccupied with an eligible suitor. Maybe that's what's been going on. Oh, okay. Back to closing remarks, because if we don't get there, Hatim will forget where we're at in the show. So we are closing out. And so my message remains the same. Family and friends, it's time to rise and shine. Just remember we're in the midst of the Great Awakening. Every day, today, tomorrow, we need to do something in support of the movement. We can read books, we can read articles, we can donate to a cause, volunteer our time and services, use our social media networks to enlighten and inform, go back to school, go into a trade in an area where we're needed, i.e. teachers. Sign a petition, march, plan a peaceful protest, participate in a boycott. Remember, if you want change, we've got to learn how to keep more of it in our pockets. That's about it.
That was nice. I'm going to make a donation. We're going to get you some minutes. Hey, who next?
This is funny because I still, never mind.
Respect your elders. Respect your... Next. Somebody better come on now.
Tim was on the Pony Express. He knows how these messages used to get out. He's so happy to have technology. He don't know what to do.
Hey, how is it how Tim was too young to remember the beginning of crack? And I remember that. Man, New Jack City was...
No, Tim is too old to remember.
Okay, you know what? And you know what? He went way back in time to prove me wrong. For years, I've been saying that New Jack City was our first bootleg, and then he went and showed the spook that sat by the door and showed the documentary how they were bootlegging that. So I stand corrected. But let me go ahead with my closing. I feel like from this day on, at least once a week, since Tim has made this somewhat of a musical show, I feel trumped tonight, and I feel like from this point on, I'm going to contribute some song. Not every show, but maybe once a week. Let's start right there.
You can do that,
all
man.
Right, so that's going to be my contribution from now on.
Hey, I got you, because listen, we got the content is king. I keep telling you that. That's why I say, regardless of how many people listen, let's keep doing the shows. We're going to be able to download them, and we're going to be able to put them up on a podcast and have 24-hour shows going real soon. Trust me. Brother Jamal or Sister Tiandra, you got some closing words?
Ladies first.
Oh, I love y'all. Have a good evening. Okay.
Oh.
And for me, thank you very much. This was a lot more than what I was expecting. I wish that I grew up around people like you.
Ashe. Jamal, what city are you in, and how did you learn about the show?
Through a friend. I was told a little bit about it, but obviously not enough because I would have called a lot sooner.
Interesting.
But I'm glad that I did. Plus, I mean, I've been very busy also, but I might have had to break some of that busyness to call this up, because it's beautiful just listening to you guys. I don't even have to talk; just listening is beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I need to let you know that you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Media. And these mystical animals. God, this is a Heart of a Simple production. This is Folk Tales for Grown Folks. Make sure you like and share. It's a Heart of a Simple production. But we strive.
That Phoenix needs that ambrosia.
That's what I'm saying. No, the Phoenix eat up my damn scobies, man. But here we go. Well, we strive to blow up your old paradise. I'm out, family. If you want to listen in, I got another track I'm playing. Go ahead. Peace out, family.
Sisters.
Oh, this the hottest shit. I'm gonna send it
Take a
for
little
this
time to really look at one another and ask yourself, can we really afford to lose one another? We must understand that we are all we got. We're forgetting our past, blinded by crack and gun smoke. We must turn that mess around and make the other man choke.
This brother Ashibo, the hottest shit on the album. Without it.
Down in flames, like the Hindenburg. One day I opened my ears. You wouldn't believe what I heard. They say your word ain't. See, you promised us great things, but only giving us a little bit. I keep your Star Trek hat as a souvenir. The uncle is dead, but I'm not even gonna shed a tear. See, right now you're the big fish, but I'm the genie in the land, and you get no wish. Usually you get 3, but I'm taking 1 plus the 2 that you owe me. It's so hard to feel proud. While I shed a tear, you're still talking loud. I'll never get on a boat with the man, because it reminds me of that great master plan. Oh, I haven't forgotten the last cruise we took. We end up picking cotton. You tried to play me out like a sucker, but I survived to take back what's mine, your mother. So repay your debt to us. Mama so light, cause all the nuts that you busted, you violated our blood and plagued us with acne. So who's the real savage race? Please tell me, what race is really your mind state? So the mess you bumped up is the mess you're gonna have to face. See why I'm so upset? Because you brainwashed my people, talking out the side of your neck. So I just sit back and light up a stand so to deal with the pains and the rage and the ghetto. tomorrow's gonna bring. Our heads are filled with these false hopes and dark dreams. The rage in the ghetto, it drives me to chaos. Brothers talk they miss and get tossed. See, deep down inside, I wanna change, but it's hard as hell. Remove these chains on my brain. You got me thinking that I'm less than I really am. Put up a 10-foot pole and impale sand. The rage in my mind, it keeps me from crying. But inside I'm slowly dying. Because I don't know who I am. So I pick up an idol and become his biggest fan. Pattern myself to be just like Jack. I can have a big Cadillac slinging crack. Invest seriously, and then I start rolling hard. And the rest is history. Bavarian secure. Got a few keys and holding G's. Nobody can be trusted. I see with a shotgun and in my jock strap a small gap. Because I'm so damn scared. Walk the streets alone at night, I wouldn't dare. Will I make it to 21? I'm only 19. My life has just begun. I got snatched up by the feds. I was slapped around, then assigned a concrete bed. And now I'm behind bars. Yesterday was the last day I would see stars. And now I'm feeling sorry, cause everything I ever did is coming back to haunt me. I'm crouched in a corner, hugging my knees. I'll be 37 by the time that I'm free. I got enough bed sheet, I'll make me a nice little noose and I'm out. One hell of a future. I fell into the hands of the plan and now it's over. The rage inside is still alive and will survive until I die. And if that's tomorrow, you see, I went alone. My heart was filled with sorrow. It's a shame though, but it's all because of the rage in the ghetto. Shout out to the underground, took me in and gave me some knowledge. And now I'm ready. Hands up with the devil. Ashibu. Brothers in black boots. Stepping up. Hotel.
That was Brother Ashibu. One of the coldest that ever did it. I'm trying to tell y'all, this 1992. Ashibu. I'm just, alright. But yo, I'm out. Y'all take it easy, family. Peace. Alright, Spreaker, thank you for joining me. We're going to be listening to this album a little bit. We're going to start with Ashibu's song on Gye-Nyame. So I'm looking forward to seeing y'all. And with that, I'm out. Peace out.